Well, the ruling is good news to Savannah Pride. Here to talk more about that is Chris Brown, president of Savannah Pride. Of course, same-sex couples around the nation are celebrating really tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, DOMA is, you know, and you and I have had this conversation before, it's a legal issue. It's about guaranteeing rights that are equal across the board. I mean, that's the American system as we know it. And you know, I've said this before and I'll say it again. This country has fought for equal rights before and has always come out on the right side of history. This is a legal issue, and anybody who tries to make it anything other than that, I believe, is wrong.
Well, it was interesting speaking about the judge, too. Dennis Jacobs said, quote, homosexuals are not in position to adequately protect themselves from the discriminatory wishes of the majoritarian public. Simple enough, he's trying to protect the rights of all people.
Right, and that's the thing. I mean, this is about federal benefits. I mean, the passage of DOMA in 1997 eliminated same-sex couples from being able to get benefits, federal benefits, obtain those federal benefits, more than 1,000 of them. So we're talking Social Security, we're talking death benefits. The reason this lawsuit was filed was an 84-year-old woman couldn't, she had to pay more than $300,000 in estate taxes because she couldn't take the spousal deduction. That's wrong to me. I mean, look, I don't want to get married in your church if your church doesn't want to marry me, but I do think we should all be equal under the eyes of the law.
Well, of course, not everybody is celebrating at this point. We talked to State Representative Ron Stevens. Here's what he had to say.
A handful of years ago, Georgia passed its own definition of what marriage was and created its definition as marriage is a state between a man and a woman. Very simply. It's, as far as we know in Georgia, it is constitutional under our Constitution, so I'm not sure if they're talking about the United States Supreme Court or the Supreme Court of New York. We'll find out some more as things go along.
Well, now 5 different states, Maryland, Washington, Maine, Minnesota, all voting on this issue. When it comes to November, a lot of the opponents are saying, why not go ahead and put it in the hands of the voters? How would you feel about that?
Well, I think in the state of Georgia, it was in the hands of the voters. Look, you know, voters will make those kinds of decisions, right? So the Supreme Court, though, is expected to take up this issue. That's why today's ruling is so exciting, because it's the second one this year, and we've seen the judicial process over and over again turn this law down. I mean, when you talk about Republicans and you talk about the Tea Party folks, I mean, these folks, you know, the fifth tenet in the Tea Party's platform is to abide by the Constitution. This law is unconstitutional. There is no two ways about it. This is a legal issue, and that's the part that really gets me upset. It's because people try to make this about so much more than what it really is, Andrew. And really, at the end of the day, this is a legal issue with legal ramifications that really impact people's lives.
Well, Chris, we could talk for hours about this right now, so I'm sure we'll have you back on. We're going to have a lot more to say about this in the coming weeks. Thank you so much, Chris Brown from Savannah Pride.
Thanks.
Tina?